Walking through the park and reminiscing. Dancing in the dark. Hello. What do it do this dark late night? What do you hear? What do you say? Fuck you, it all goes away. How do you feel? What do you say? Fuck you, it's all go away. How do I feel? What do I say? Everything, it just goes away. How do I feel? What do I say? Everything, it just goes away. How do I feel? What do I say? Everything, it just goes away. Everything, it just goes away. Everything, it just goes away. How do I feel? What do I say? Everything, it just goes away. Man. Ooh wee. This pride stuff has been spicy. Spicy, spicy, spicy. My goodness. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to this newfound moralizing that people on the left are doing about pride, as if it hasn't been the same since the fucking 70s or 80s. Unbelievable. We gotta clean it up and make it a place for kids. We gotta clean it up and make it a place for kids so it can get cotton candy and shake hands with queer activists. It's like, dude, there's a million fucking events like that, please. It's not new, though, anarchy. That's the only thing you need to remove from your statement there. It's not, there's nothing new about it. It's the same old Puritan movement. It's been around since God was a boy. Everybody's got to have ideas about what everybody should do because of their kids or their sensibilities. It's just Puritanism. Same shit, different day. Everything, it just goes away. What do I feel? What do I say? Everything, it just goes away. Whoa. 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 Good old spices. Let there be light. Whew, good gravy. Good gracious. I think I need some indica. I think puffing on this sativa all day has put me in a very agitated mood. Just wait there.
The sativa has been put away. The indica is here to stay. Time to wind down. Yeah, that was what I needed. It's a attitude adjustment right off the top. Right off the top. God damn it. Oh, man. You guys ready for a controversial statement? You guys ready for this shit? There's only 22 of you in here, but that's fine. That's fine. 22 true believers is 22 true believers. So let me tell you something secret. You guys ready? Come on, get in close, get in close, get in close. You have to lean in on your monitors, bring your phone up to your face. Get in close, it's a secret. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. There's already plenty of shit for kids to do. Already plenty of shit for kids to do. Let's talk a little bit about pride for a second. Pride is a protest, an annual and recurring protest for gay visibility, queer rights, and queer acceptance. It's been going on for at least a couple of decades now, probably longer. It is not a fun, family-friendly balloon fair for you to bring your toddler to, nor has it ever been. It is a raucous, rowdy, audacious affair, the message of which behind is, the message behind which is, we're here, we're queer, get used to it. Out of the closets and into the streets. That's what pride is, okay? It is not a sanitized day fair for people to bring their toddlers to and get lollipops at and have a balloon animal made for them, okay? There are a billion of those in the world where there's nobody wandering around in assless chaps, so your child's fucking psychology is not ruined by seeing a butt or a dildo, okay? There are a billion motherfucking things that you can take your children to where they will not be exposed to that shit, including pride events. There are all ages, family-friendly pride events all throughout Pride Month, all over the fucking world. So this whole new fucking wave of people that want to sanitize pride, you think this is the first wave of these people? You think this is the first time that people have decided that they're going to moralize for the children because of pride? This is an old conservative Puritan argument being rehashed now by people within the queer community and leftists. This is lesser of two evils voting. This is leftism being subsumed by neoliberalism. This is what happens. They lose sight of important social movements and start arguing for things like, what about the kids? Unbelievable. It's one thing, like, if it was like Ben Shapiro, and trust me, like, none of these leftists have stopped to think about the fact that they're making the same arguments that Ben Shapiro makes against Pride. Profound. It's shocking to me that the arguments that Rush Limbaugh made against Pride back in the 90s that I used to listen to on the radio with my dad while he was driving me back and forth to school are now coming out of the mouths of what passes for the left. And that Overton window is not just scooting to the right, it is fucking racing. And I'm not even that's not hyperbole. This, like, what about the kids? Pride has to be shut down. It's a kinky, disgusting, deviant fair of bacchanal sexuality. This is the type of shit leftists are saying. What about children? That's the fucking exact argument that Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity and all of their ilk have been making for fucking 20 years. Or more. Unbelievable. And then some prominent leftist like Vosh makes a statement like this, calling for the sanitization of a queer acceptance movement, a global queer acceptance movement, so that people can bring their kids to it. And all of his followers who spend so much of their time deep diving Marx and Engels with him double down on it for him. It's fucking... You guys remember when I've been talking about all this time, this fucking leftist to Neo-Lib pipeline? You guys remember that shit? Yes. Go read his fucking Twitter and scroll back a little bit. He said, he made a tweet about what Pride should be. Pride should be an uncontroversial, safe, family-friendly event where people can walk around with their kids and meet queer activists and get cool t-shirts. I'm not even joking. And then if you go into the fucking shit, there are tons of people backing him up on it. Tons of his followers doubling down on this. This is not leftism. Not at all. Not in the least. This is puritanical, right-wing shit. Pride shouldn't be about anything. Pride should be about out of the closets and into the fucking streets. That's what Pride should be about. Queer visibility, queer acceptance. Fuck you, we're not gonna live our lives in dingy bars and dingy back rooms and dingy hotel rooms. We're in the street now. That's what Pride is. It's not a kids' carnival. It's not a trip to Disneyland. No, that is not the intent. Or you're talking about the intent of trying to sanitize Pride when it doesn't need it? A weed. Calgon, take me the fuck away. I've heard this shit since I was a boy. Heard this shit since I was a boy. People have lost touch with what these fucking social movements mean, and they have recontextualized them into something that they are not. Pride was never conceived of to be a get some popcorn and a corn dog and walk around and ride the Ferris wheel street fair. It is a protest for queer acceptance. A defiant, audacious act of stepping out of the closets and into the fucking streets. That's it. That's what it was. That's what it is. That's what it should remain. Period. Any other shoulds, I'm not interested. You know what? Maybe there will be a time where pride doesn't need to be a raucous, audacious protest anymore. And it can just be what people are talking about, just a fair looking back on the struggle for gay rights that was won globally. But until that day, pride is what it is and needs to remain what it is. Because the country we live in still oppresses gay people. The country we live in still provides material support to countries that horribly oppress gay people. Throw them off the roof for being gay, behead them in the public square for being gay. So this is not a joke. This is not a kid-friendly lollipop fucking snow cone event, okay? This is queer people fighting for their fucking right to exist. Period. And if you want to police their fucking dress or the way they go about it on that day, you can keep it to yourself or keep your kids home. Police it by not showing up to it. I'm sure you'll be missed. I'm sure you and little Aiden and little Camille will be missed. Not. Vote with your feet. Quit trying to turn pride into something that it never was. When was, like, pride should be this? Says who? Pride was never a family-friendly street fair. Pride was never a fucking popsicle event. Ever in its history. So where's all this should coming from all of a sudden? Has the struggle for queer acceptance been won? Did it happen last night while I slept? Holy fuck, man, I forgot to party today. Oh wait, it hasn't? Then what the fuck are we talking about? Unbelievable. Shit gets me fucking all riled up. Do you know how it made me feel as a gay kid listening to Rush Limbaugh talk about pride? Like it was just this gaggle of leather daddies and degenerates and shit that just got off on fucking doing kinky shit in front of kids. Do you know growing up as a bisexual kid, what that felt like to hear that on the radio? To hear that people like me were marching through the streets and they were perceived as degenerates and scum and sex perverts and shit. Let me let you in on a little secret. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel good to know inside that I was that, and that those people were being described as disgusting fetishists that just want to jerk off in public, basically, in front of kids. It's ridiculous. And now that critique is coming out of certain elements of the fucking left. Overton window, please. So I'm done. I'm shooting straight for the mark from here on out. This is a mask off moment for me. For a lot of fucking people. When I catch you making Sean Hannity arguments and you're calling yourself a leftist and you're doing streams about Marx and Engels and shit, something right there don't jibe. Something there does not make fucking sense to me. That's Sean Hannity shit. That's Rush Limbaugh shit. Mark Levin is another dude that likes to talk about how pride parades are just cavalcades of degeneracy and shit. You join in that. Join that chorus. That's going to advance the cause of gay people. Michael Savage, Charlie Kirk. Need I keep going? This is the company you're keeping on this fucking issue. Turn it into a snow cone event with a Ferris wheel. Forget what it was about in the first place. Forget that it was about fucking contravening the sensibilities of society that said that gay people weren't allowed to be gay in public. I'm mad. Ooh. This shit makes me real fucking angry. Dude, the fact that, like, I just recently found out within the last couple of weeks that ShoeonHead apparently had a redemption arc or whatever. I was like, wait a minute. The alt-right chick that used to suck on fucking Armored Skeptic's dick? She's had a... What? She's a lefty now? No, she's not. They have a word for people like ShoeonHead. That word is grifter. If tomorrow the popular fucking idea in this world was to round up gay people and burn them all, ShoeonHead would be right there with the hot take, no pun intended. She's got her finger up in the air, and whichever way the wind blows, that's the way she couches herself, because there's nothing inside of her. Nothing real. Just the desire to be accepted by a group of people. Nah, fuck Shoe. Fuck Shoe. Fuck her Armored Skeptic piece of shit boyfriend. Fuck their alt-right fucking baiting shit that they did all those years. And fuck this attempted redemption arc. You want to buy it? Go for it. I'm not buying what she's selling. No, I couldn't say the same about TJ. She was never alt-right, lol. Yeah, no, she was just pipelining alt-right. She was just on the left, but memeing with Kekistan memes and shit. She just palled around with them. She just friends with Lauren Southern. The fuck out of here, kid. Just because she looks like your fucking hypermanic pixie gamer dream girl doesn't mean she's not fucking a bad faith actor. I'm sorry. Just because she reminds you of jerking off to fucking Boxy when you were 14 years old doesn't mean that she's your friend. Okay? Doesn't mean she's arguing for what you believe in. She broke up with Armored Skeptic a while ago. Oh, the horror. I guess her attitude changed when she got out of his influence, right? Was it his influence that made her that way? Come back with a different account with a profile pic, and maybe I will answer your questions. But until you've actually met me a tenth of the way at that, then I'm not interested in talking to you. Read the rules. No, fuck ShoeonHead. Fuck all those fucking weird Kekistan memeing alt-right pipeline leftists from 2016. Sad to see you don't believe in redemption anymore. I 100% believe in redemption. I just believe that it has to be demonstrated. I don't believe because your hypermanic pixie dream girl decided that the left grift was more lucrative than the right grift that she decided to move her politics slightly to the left so she could be friendly with people like Vosh. That doesn't make her a leftist in my book. That's not a redemption arc. That's a grift. I know the difference between the two. If there's no difference between a redemption arc and a grift, then neither exists. Sorry. Want to try again? Any other reasons that you want Shoo to be a good fucking presence online? Are her big brown eyes enough to make you think that she's an actual leftist? What if she does that anime thing in her thumbnails? Fuck up out of here. It's ridiculous. Like, I hadn't heard her fucking name in years, and then I saw her being quoted. I can't even remember where it was, somewhere on fucking Twitter. I was like, wait a minute. Is this that Shoe? Went and looked. Yup. Oh, okay. So she's still surfing the crest, huh? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me ask you a question. Back in the day, I remember Shoe, like, I remember when I finally unfollowed Shoe, was her having these, like, weird masturbatory fantasies about being a trad wife on Twitter. Did she grow out of that, too? Because I remember that's why when I unfollowed ShoeonHead was when she started having these weird, like, back and forth sex fantasies about how hot it would be to have, like, a conservative or whatever the fuck come and, like, take her and fuck her and shit. And I was just like, all right, well, go get fucked then. Go find yourself a Trump supporter. So is she still doing that, or has she grown out of it? Still on that tip, unironically. Paul, are you kink shaming? Are we kink shaming? Sure. No, I'm not kink shaming. I'm just saying I know a skunk when I smell one. Well, if all she's about is her low self-esteem, then she's got nothing to offer me. I've seen some of the hyperbolic posts that she's made about this pride shit. She acts like it's just a cavalcade of people butt fucking in the street. I doubt that ShoeonHead has ever been within 100 miles of a pride event. She is, after all, the former ShoeonHead / armored skeptic, totally not alt-right Kek Pepistan memer from back in the day. Like, were all of you fucking people born yesterday? I'm dead ass fucking serious. There's so many people that act shocked. Aligned with Sargon. Oh yeah, that didn't tip you off? Come on. Still felt like you're in the womb sometimes. I tell you what, man, me too. Good point. Me too. What the fuck, man? Holy shit. You guys don't know? You guys don't know how to make this kind of fucking discernment on your own? Still anti-feminist and all that? No, no way. Not Shoe. Not Princess Shoo. No fucking way, dude. No fucking way. You're telling stories out of school. Come on. Come on. Like I said, dude, if the prevailing fucking social wisdom tomorrow was that gay people were horrible degenerates that all needed to be fucking flogged back into the dark ages, Shoe would be right there on the grift making spicy memes about it. Trust me. I mean, it depends, bro. The whole anti-SJW thing was largely justified. I think the biggest distortion of the anti-SJW movement was that it focused on the radical parts of the social justice movement too heavily, but it's not like people were responding to shit that didn't make any sense. You know what I mean? It's like these fucking radical feminist ideas about all penis and vagina sex being rape and all this shit. They're out there. You know, these ideas about consent not being something that can be established, or consent having to be this or that, or you know what I mean? Those ideas are out there. They were out there then, they're still out there now, and they're still just as laughable and contemptible as they were then. They just don't represent the mainstream of ideas. So if there was a distortion in the anti-SJW movement, it was that. But there's a difference between people that memed around in the anti-SJW movement and people that pipelined alt-right shit. How do I know that Shoe hasn't changed, though? Because she's still fantasizing and getting wet about a big conservative fucking bald-headed Trump guy coming and raping her. Unless, once again, she stopped that. She's right now arguing for pride to be sanitized because it's nothing but a bunch of people butt fucking and wanting to get off in front of kids. That's why I think that Shoe hasn't changed. Still anti-feminist. I have this crazy idea that she hasn't changed because she hasn't changed. Seems you've got a weird grudge. TJ made similar ideological content and then stopped making it. Shoe still makes it. That's the difference between changing your mind on a subject or changing your approach on a subject and pretending to have changed your approach on the subject because the wind is blowing differently. The anti-SJW days were also a rejection of corporate YouTubers that made terrible videos explaining social justice terribly. BuzzFeed, MTV, yeah. Yep. Yeah. TJ fucking changed his mind on a lot of things. So did I. What happens when you change your mind on things? Your rhetoric changes. White knights all around, bro. White knights are in town. And they don't like ShoeonHead being talked about. Yeah, I used to use autistic as a way to call people stupid. I don't do that anymore. See? I didn't just like say that I was on the side of people that don't do it, but keep doing it. If you're out of the loop, rewind. That puts you at a distinct disadvantage. Maybe you shouldn't walk up to the adults having a conversation, especially when there's a complete running record of said conversation that you can rewind on and not waste mine and everybody else's time with your I'm out of the loop. Thank you. Wow, Will, that's crazy. Where'd you learn to do that? How'd you come up with such a fucking fundamentally strange idea, Will?
Be nice to Shoe. Be nice to Shoe. No.
When I read the title, I heard Ozzy in my head saying it instead of Shot in the Dark. All right, fair enough, buddy. Shut up. No, I don't watch H Bomber Guy. I agree, people like her will go where the wind blows, but I say better they're using their audience for leftist ideas rather than anti-SJW or whatever. Shut up. Authenticity fucking matters. When we have people on the left cozying up to people who just a year ago were on the right and still remain largely on the right because they've made slight adjustments to their positions, that is weakening whatever's left of the leftist position in this fucking country. Just like fucking electing that ice cream slurping toothless old man Joe Biden was damaging to leftist ideals because he immediately signed over a bunch of money to a fucking giant weapons company, immediately went back on 90% of the things he promised. Did you guys hear recently that the Biden administration has lowered the amount of student debt cancellation that it plans to engage in to zero because, quote, it wouldn't pass the fucking Congress? The guy forgot that he has the power to do executive orders and shit. This is what I'm talking about, man. This is damaging to the left. Electing this person, having people wearing his merch, having people unironically arguing for voting for him, lets people think that they can make incremental change by just doing something every 2 years. And in the meantime, wages are flat, inflation is up, $1 buys what fucking 10 cents used to buy. Yes, libs are conservatives. Neoliberals are conservatives. The list goes on, dude. And people want to continue to unironically argue that supporting these people and acting like they're so much materially better than the other side when it's just a ping pong match between the two. And now we've got leftists talking about how pride needs to be turned into a street fair so that people can have their toddlers up on their shoulders and get balloon animal hats made for them. Unfucking real. This is why I hit eject out of what amounts for the modern left years ago. You know how much shit I take for that every day of my life? Because I don't throw my lot in with these fucking libs who pretend to be leftists and then vote conservative all the fucking time and allow the entire fucking narrative to be pushed to the right constantly. This is why I hit the eject button, folks. This is why I got the fuck out. Hello. You're welcome to join me. If these people are leftists, I'm so far to the left of them that I don't even identify with them anymore. Honestly, if it's come to that, if it's fucking come to that, then I'm not a leftist anymore. I've finally been pushed out of that terminology, if that's what it's come to. I don't necessarily believe that's what it's come to, but if I'm proved wrong on that and what passes for leftism is now neoliberal nonsense, I'm not a leftist anymore. I've been pushed out of the left because I'm too far to the left of what passes for the left anymore. ordered my paper copy of Murder in the Haymarket recently. I'll be marking that up intensely. Not murder, Death in the Haymarket. I don't really like to be called a leftist because it's so broad and includes people like that. Not in my book, it doesn't, but maybe you're right. I just don't understand it. I don't understand how it happens. Well, I do understand how it happens, but it just feels so fucking impossible to me because I spend so much of my time screaming that it's happening, and then when it happens, people just seem to fucking coast with it, and I'm just like, oh my God, look at what just happened. Leftists are now attacking Pride. People that are fucking lumped in with the radical left are now attacking Pride and saying it should be sanitized and making insinuations about it being some kind of fucking bacchanal orgy. A lot of these people never having attended a Pride event in their fucking lives. And this is the unironic 2021 left. You see why I hit eject fucking 8-10 years ago? Do you see now? If not, wait till the next cycle of the same shit. Or don't. Or just take a look at your history and realize what the fucking game is here. Ba ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. Paul, what do you think of right-wingers far right like me being a part of your fan base? I don't care. I mean, it's your dime, literally and figuratively. I'm not sure what you mean by ejecting from the left. It seems like most Twitter lefties are more aligned with you than Vosh, at least as far as I can tell. The Twitter left is not the left, bro. Never mind. I shouldn't even have to explain it. I'm too tired and I'm too fucking stoned to explain this to you. I feel like it'll be the umpteenth time. All right, let me explain it to you. Fuck it. It's a public service. Let me explain it to you. The Twitter left was screaming bloody murder when Louis C.K. uncanceled himself and came back and started doing comedy shows again. Do you know how many people heckled the Louis C.K. concert when he first came back from his cancellation? Anybody guess or anybody remember? That's the Twitter left. There was one person that stood up and tried to make a fucking bunch of bullshit out of the 300 or 400 people that came to see Louis C.K. perform. That's the Twitter left. There was one. Yep, one dude in the crowd got up and left as a protest. That was the Twitter left getting up and leaving the room. So I don't think that anybody on the Twitter left is on my side. Marxist-Leninists are not tankies. To be fair, you have to be pretty stupid to pay money to heckle an entertainer. Kinda, yeah, probably. It's the same with the people who said they'd burn Nike. Exactly. It's the same shit. Twitter amplifies, and see, here's the thing. It's further amplified by the news media. So Twitter knows that it's a very selective sampling of Americans, but likes to present itself as if it's the heartbeat of Americans, and the fucking news media eats it up and quotes Twitter all the goddamn time, looks at trends on Twitter and thinks that that's what people are thinking. It's not what people are thinking. It's what that one guy that stood up in protest and left the Louis C.K. show is thinking. That guy. No, Twitter is bullshit. Engage in Twitter as an act of fucking pastime and fun only, because there is no activism to be done there. You can put some ideas out there, you can argue for those ideas, but when it comes to actually reaching people, you're going to have to go outside of Twitter. Yeah, thinking Twitter was America is what led to that Biden landslide cringe. Yeah, we all forgot about that. Everybody forgot about that. That's all in the past now. Remember the Biden landslide? Remember how it was going to be the most open shut fucking election in American electoral history? Said the same thing about fucking Hillary, by the way. Hillary was going to be a landslide too. When are you guys going to stop listening to these people? Like, at what point? What's it going to take? Dead oceans? That's exactly what it's going to take. There's going to be a lot of people that are not on my side now that'll be on my side in fucking 20 years when the mass migration crisis fucking hits an apex or really starts to ramp up, and the fucking continued environmental devastation has gotten so poisonous that like now scientists are screaming the oceans are dead. And then people will be like, we gotta do something. Man, this DNC has done nothing but sell us down the river, bro. Always on the back foot. Always got to take the easy road. I live in California. California is the farming state, not just a farming state, it's the farming state. And when you drive around the farming state, you see fucking signs that say pray for rain and build more dams because there's an insane drought in California where all this food is grown. You have no clue. You have no fucking clue what's coming in 20 years. Just a scant 15, 20, 30 years, and you're going to be looking down the barrel of a different world. TJ is restreaming you. Da 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 da. Hello to Jickafence. It is I, Polzigo. Your master has abandoned you and has left you with me, his saltiness. You're now in my domain. You must conform to what I think and conform to everything that I am, or else you will be banned, or else left to the limbo of TJ's restream. Aw, he stopped. Darn. Snap. Salty banana. The salty banana. Yep. Twitter leftists legitimately believed Biden was going to lock up Trump and fix the kids in cages and cancel student debt and pass Medicare for all and fix the environment. And a list of other laughable fucking things. And 10,000 more laughable fucking impossibilities. Biden said pretty words. He better than Orange Man. Exceeding expectations. The Biden administration continued to exceed the expectations of even the most leftist and progressive in his party. When today he announced his desire to make the student debt cancellation of his first administration $0, thus ensuring that he will probably lose in the upcoming 2024 election. Everybody got your ice cream cones? A return to normalcy, joking about running over people that want to talk to him about a serious world event while he shills for Ford's new electric truck. Remember that return to decency that all the libs were all excited about? Unbelievable, dude. Biden continued to exceed expectations today when he was asked by a reporter about his Israel policy. He pulled his pants down and farted on the microphone. Yeah. Exceed expectations, dude. Expectations exceeded. Exceed the need for expectations. It's like I got to make all of these leftist arguments to leftists, some of whom like fucking unironically do deep dives into Marx and Engels and shit. I got to explain like class consciousness and leftist revolutionary theory to these fucking people through the lens of labor. The only way in which it's ever fucking improved the lives of people here in America. I gotta do this. I gotta be the one to do this. Class reductionist, yeah. Thanks, Ian. I appreciate your $20. Class reductionism is unironically based. You know why? Because trans people, brown people, indigent people, migrants and immigrants of all stripes are part of the same class of people. Unironically based to advocate for the fucking working person. What do you think helps trans people more? Friendly overtures in the government, but no fundamental action on trans rights, or putting fucking livable wages in the hands of trans people? But I'm the one that's fucking against trans rights because I argue for class consciousness. Well, I don't know. I don't know what Vosh really wants. I don't want to, like, I wouldn't appreciate him on a stream talking about what it is that I really want. But I do have opinions on what his output are. And I've talked about it here several times. I call it the left to Neo-Lib pipeline. And I believe that Vosh is part of that. Because I believe that Vosh takes young, passionate leftists and uses his broad vocabulary and charismatic way of speaking to engage their minds with interesting leftist theory and then funnel them towards neoliberal action. I believe that on the whole, that's what Vosh does with his channel. I may be wrong about that. I may be misinterpreting that, but that's my belief. Because, I mean, well, yeah, fundamentally it's a right-wing pipeline because the neoliberal left is fundamentally right-wing. What passes for a leftist now would have been a Republican when I was born. Joe Biden, when I was born, was functionally a fucking Republican. Oh, man. And now we're voting for him and calling it harm reduction. It's got to stop. Anti-electoral action, the refusal of people of principle to continue to vote for their own oppressor, vote for no change, vote for the continued exploitation of the global South, and instead choose to take direct action, advocate for labor, organize working people around class consciousness, change the tone of the argument away from fucking exclusive identity politics towards class consciousness where it belongs. And in my mind, you've got the choice to do that. You're right, though. It was all about bully Biden to the left and told others to vote for him. He's very much a liberal. There's no doubt about it. He's pro-establishment. Well, whatever. That's my opinion. My opinion is that whether he knows it or not, Foch is a pipeline from the left to the neoliberal fucking wing. And that's it. If you talk radical Marxism all day, and then the only direct action you encourage is voting for fucking neoliberal candidates and contextualizing neoliberal arguments and making excuses for neoliberals, then I don't know what else to call you, bro. Like, I'm happy he raised a bunch of money for Palestine. That's an unironically good thing, and I wouldn't take that away from him, but saying Vosh is a Neo-Lib because he wants to preserve liberal democracy until better material conditions. Whatever, bro. Fucking sing me the song of your people, this material condition shit. What were the material conditions in fucking post-Civil War America? Because that's when the American labor movement started. That's when fundamental anarchists in the city of Chicago, literal fucking anarchists and anarcho-communists, stopped participating in electoral politics, stopped working with then the Republicans because the party switch hadn't happened yet, stopped believing that there was an electoral solution to workers' rights, and hit the streets massively. They were called 8-hour day strikers. And they're the reason why, if you work a fucking 40-hour-a-week job, you've got an 8-hour day. They didn't wait around for politicians to figure it out. They just hit the streets with class consciousness in mind in sufficient numbers that there was no way to ignore them. They took their rights. They didn't vote for AOC. They didn't vote for the politician that promised them all this wonderful stuff and then delivered them nothing. These were European Marxists in America, having immigrated to America, that set off America's first labor movement towards the end of and in the fucking shadow of the Civil War. They did not use voting. They did not preach electoralism. They did not make excuses for politicians, and they did not argue for working people to do so. They hit the streets and they took their rights. And that's what we have to do again. I heard if you say material conditions 3 times fast, a wild Vosh will appear and explain to you why pride should be sanitized. Yeah, dude, if you turn off the lights after midnight and look in the mirror and say material conditions 3 times into the mirror while looking into your own eyes, dude, Vosh will appear in the mirror and explain to you how voting for Biden is based. I swear to God, dude. Try it. Try it. You think I'm joking with you? You think I'm making a joke? Try it. After this stream, shut it off, go into your bathroom, turn the lights off to where you can just barely see yourself in the mirror. and look in the mirror and try and look in your own reflection's eyes and say material conditions. I'm not going to do it because I don't want him to come here now. But you know what I mean? Say it 3 times. You'll be a believer. Finally got a profile pic. I wanted to recommend a Cinema for Cynics on Freddy Got Fingered. It's an atrocious film. Thank you. Yeah, I know. Daddy, would you like some sausage? Oh, Daddy, would you like some sausage? Boop, 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 boop. The movie is made by someone who has had a weed psychosis. Man, you're selling people on it now. I don't know. I don't think Freddy Got Fingered is the best movie ever made, but it's a pretty funny movie. I can laugh at some of the stupid fucking shit in it. Love that line when he breaks his leg and instead of his dad saying, get him an ambulance, he says, oh God, find him a job. Yeah. Yeah, dude, Tom Green, yeah. Where did Freddy get fingered? Dude, you have to watch the movie to find out. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it, dude. You have to watch Freddy Got Fingered if you really want to know the answer to that fucking question. Rip Torn is the real star. Yeah. Yeah. As always. Oh, the indica has done its job. I feel myself settling in to a slow spiral of action that ends in sleep. Which means that I have to say goodnight.